I started Amazon FBA 3 years ago at the age of 18. Now I'm 21. I've scaled my Amazon business to multiple six figures in profit, reselling name brand items on Amazon. I've done Amazon wholesale, I've done Amazon online arbitrage, and I've also done Amazon private label. But if I had to start again in 2026 as a complete beginner with no resources and no background knowledge, this is exactly the blueprint that I'd actually take in this video today. But before we get into this quick backstory, I started this business was literally like $500. I was door dashing for inventory. I was literally working a full-time job, door dashing, and I was in college, and I was able to do all this and still build up this business and overall leave my job and make this my full-time income a couple years later. So the number one issue that I see a lot of people make is they pick the wrong model. They pick an advanced model that requires a lot more capital, or it requires more just skills and marketing, sales, and all that stuff in general. As a beginner, the best bet for you to make your first $5,000 or $10,000 profit, or even make your first dollars online, is 100% always going to be online arbitrage. The reason for that, and the reason why we pick online arbitrage over wholesale and private label, is online arbitrage, all you're doing is you're buying products for a low enough cost to resell for the high on Amazon. And over the years, as I've gained more capital, I've gained more experience, and I've gotten better at the business, I branched into wholesale and private label. But I wasn't going to be able to actually be successful in those models if I didn't do a year and a half of online arbitrage before. Private label, it's just too expensive. You're spending all this money on ads. You're getting a product from China. You're just taking a big gamble. And at the start, if you only have a couple $1,000s for your name, maybe this is the first business that you've ever started, it's probably not the best bet just to start with that. And wholesale, it's kind of the same thing, but instead of running money, instead of spending money on ads, right, you're still going to wholesale suppliers. You don't have that much capital. They have big MOQs, and you're telling a big wholesaler and distributor to work with you, right, and sell you products for only a couple $1,000s when they have these relationships with these other distributors and suppliers that are buying $10,000 in one purchase order, right? That are spending $10,000, and you're trying to go to the same supplier and be like, hey, can I just, test buy? I don't have that much experience. Can I do $1,000 to $2,000? It just wouldn't make sense. So for me and a beginner right now, the only thing that makes sense is online arbitrage. You're getting products for low enough cost and you're reselling it for the high. The thing I love about this is you don't have to be a genius to start this, right? Especially with AI right now, that half of the sourcing is kind of gone. And, obviously like ungating is kind of an issue, but that's really the only bottleneck that you have to face. The business model from 0 to 10K and 10K to 30K and 30K to 100K a month, the main bottleneck is just buy more products. That's the whole thing. Like, it's infinitely scalable. Obviously, there's going to be issues like, trying to get ungated for a big brand or building sales history, but it's a very predictable and scalable model, and it's pretty safe, right? If you understand how to read the data, there's no really way you could actually lose money, which is, for me, right, as an 18-year-old, this $2,000 was really the only money I had. I was like, this is all the money I have. I need to flip this. I need to make more money, and I can't fail this, right? And it's kind of scary. But now that you have the clarity and information that okay, online arbitrage is probably the best start for me as a complete beginner. It has less barrier to entry. What are some actionable steps we can actually take from this video, right? Number one, you're going to go to Amazon Seller Center. You're going to make an Amazon seller account. It's $39.99. Once you have that, right, it's fair game. You're a third-party seller on Amazon. Once you get approved, you submit the documents and everything. It takes a 2 to 3 day process. I remember 2.5 years ago, they would have to they mail us a letter and it would take 2 weeks. But now Amazon has made it super easy and it takes 1 to 2 days. So after you do that, right, you're going to get your two softwares. You need SellerAmp and Keepa. SellerAmp's going to be about $27 and Keepa's going to be around the same price. Those are going to be your profit calculators, and those are going to be your data analyzation tools. And just to show you guys what SellerAmp looks like, this is exactly it. They have a web app, mobile app, and Chrome extension. This is going to be your profit calculator. The next thing you're going to need is Keepa. Keepa is going to show you right? The pricing. It's going to show you how many sellers are on the listing, how many reviews a listing has. It's going to give you all the data. So once you actually go in and start this business, you're not going in blind. Now, once you do that, you have your softwares, you have your Amazon Seller Central account. Now you're going to need your tools, right? Your tools are going to consist of label printer, boxes. That's going to be a couple $100. But once you buy it once, like a label printer, once you buy it once, you're probably not going to need to buy it again. And once you have those, that's pretty much all you need to actually say that you're an Amazon seller, right? And you're ready to get started. Now, the next concept that we need to understand that I see a lot of people get confused about is FBA and FBM. The only difference between FBA and FBM is one of them, you're sending your products to Amazon's fulfillment centers, and Amazon's fulfillment centers, that's a warehouse where they get your product, they prep it out, and then they send it to the customer. Right? It's a lot more passive because Amazon's kind of doing the heavy lifting. You're just sending all your products in a big box. FBM, it's a little more tedious because once you get an order, instead of Amazon fulfilling the order, you're getting the product in your house, you're storing it in your warehouse, apartment, or anything like that. You're putting it into the box and you're sending it to the merchant. You're sending it to the person buying your product. And the biggest question I get with that is, what should I do, FBA or FBM? And the best answer is both. Some listings favor FBA because Amazon provides, faster shipping, 1 to 2 day shipping, sometimes even 24 hours. I don't know if you guys order anything, but sometimes you can order stuff and it'll get there in 6 hours. It's genuinely insane. As a new seller, you want to do a good, healthy mixture of both, depending on the listing. Sometimes you get on listings and most of the people are FBA, so you probably want to do FBA. Some listings, there's people that are doing FBA and FBM, and the buy box is rotating, right? And everybody's getting sales. That's the listings where you can pick. And depending on who's winning buy box the most, that's going to show you if you should do FBA or FBM. The buy box is basically the main goal with Amazon FBA. It's basically shows up over here. It shows up on a customer that's shopping on Amazon, and they're seeing you're fighting for that position on that listing, right? Each listing is going to have multiple sellers on it. And if you have good shipping time, it rotates between all the sellers. The buy box rotates within all the competitive sellers that have good pricing and good shipping. The buy box is one of the most important things. If you win the buy box, you're going to get sales most of the time. Another thing you have to look out for is gated, right? One of the biggest things you hear is Amazon FBA doesn't work anymore because everything is gated. What we like to do, what we teach, is the sales first approach. Amazon has a thing where they're not going to let you sell the premium products day one on Amazon. You need to earn Amazon's trust. If you don't earn Amazon's trust, you're not going to be able to sell the premium brands that can make you tons of profit, thousands of dollars every single month. And the way to approach that is by selling the products that Amazon lets you sell day one. Once you go day 10, day 15, you're picking up some sales, Amazon's going to automatically approve you for some of the brands that could, sell thousands of times every single month and make you actual profit. Now, that doesn't mean you can't profit day one on Amazon, but this business model, the longer you stay in the game, the more work you put in, right? Amazon's going to reward you for that and give you an advantage and give you a moat over the other people that are starting day one. So the best time to start is now. So to recap on that, month one is foundational, right? Sell auto ungated products that sell fast, build sales history, age your account, and stack your Amazon wins. Now, how do you actually find products? One of the easiest ways to do that is reverse sourcing. Another way you can do that is by using Keep a Product Finder. Using KPF sourcing is one of the best things you can do for product research, is because you're not spending time on saturated products or finding products that aren't profitable. But at the start, if you're still lost and you can't do that, the easiest way to do that is just find products other people are selling. Amazon makes it available. Find the products they're selling. Use SellRamp to figure out exactly where they're buying it from, buy them, build sales history, and rinse and repeat. If you guys are looking for more detailed sourcing guides, obviously I could talk about this for hours. Make sure you check out my free course over here, literally 8 hours. You'll know everything about sourcing if you stick and watch this. But once you find one profitable product, you can reverse engineer that product and figure out how many sellers are actually selling that product. Go to their stores, grab more of their winning products because they're already selling it, and just rinse and repeat. You've seen people build 30 to 50K per month storefronts just doing that. But the biggest thing about this is you're not reinventing the wheel. You're not building a product from scratch. You're not calling up suppliers, looking at a script. all you're basically doing is finding products for low enough cost to resell for the high on Amazon. But if you take action on all the information that I gave you right now, that's pretty much all you need to get started from day 1 to day 30 and see actual progress. And these are actual steps that you can take literally right after this video. And if you're watching this and you're saying, I get it, it makes sense, but you want somebody to walk you through this, I'm gonna leave a link in the description to work with us one-on-one also. One of our students, Donald, started Amazon FBA 11 months ago, dropped out of college, and he went from 0 to 6 figures a month in the span of 11 months. So this business can literally change the trajectory of your life. It just depends on how serious you actually want to take it. But that's everything you really need to get started selling on Amazon today. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'm going to be actively responding to them, and I'll see you guys next video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let's go.